dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Complete to the right, this is Garcon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jarek McKinnon. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he cuts right sideline. Touchdown, 49ers. Jarek McKinnon, 68 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
But that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now. So we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what'll happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. These two teams, the 49ers and Colts, both have employed Frank Gore over the years. But they also met Week 5 last year. That's the day that Peyton Manning's number 18 was retired. And it was the Colts who got one of their 3 wins on the season by 3 points in an overtime thriller. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Danico Autry in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. That's a good sign early for the Colts, who had just 25 sacks last season.
People talk about putting an emphasis on an area of need. That's showing that the emphasis is paying off. Going ahead and getting to the quarterback early. When you only have 25 sacks in a season, that's not going to get you to the playoffs.
That was 31st in the league. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. To throw on 2nd down is Luck. Ebron with it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This is Hines. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I believe I understand where the offense was going there. They just hit a big pass play, thought they could fool them with a run, but maybe they overthought it a little bit. Just hit a nice pass, come back with another one, keep the momentum going.
And again, it's Turbin. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position, help out your team.
Now Love. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Goodwin. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. 1 quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this. And they've got it here with a 1st down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And it'll be brought down by the Colts. Danico Autry in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Autry started his career out west with Oakland, now with Indianapolis.
Yeah, had 5.5 sacks last season, and guess what? He's now in charge of increasing the pass rush for the Colts. Remember when the Colts had one of the most fearsome pass rushes in the league?
Back in the day.
Well, Autry can get him back to that.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Garoppolo. And it's caught by Saleh. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Trent Taylor there, and that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Goodwin. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Hey. 4 down. Show it. 65.
Garoppolo again. Forced out to his left. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Dante Pettis, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The punter, Pinion. Now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A run by Mack to start the drive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
false start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Mack. And he's got... the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valid, thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eli Harold. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Garoppolo looks to throw. Flushed out right. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Colts pick it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When he break a couple of tackles, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, here's Luck. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rogers, 51 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, So he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now Garoppolo. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Single. One, Omaha.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
When the Colts were contending for Super Bowls, they were extremely fast on defense. Like to have guys who could come off the edge and get to quarterbacks, and guys who could run down ball carriers. And Darius Leonard from South Carolina State, he fits the bill on all counts. In fact, before the draft, I comped him to Telvin Smith, the outside linebacker of the Jacksonville Jaguars, for his ability to run and hit.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Is able to put it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go.
Offense.
Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On the run, it's Robert Turbin. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's Luck now on second down. Throw complete there. Rodgers. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure... Now McKinnon to start the run. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go. Hey, watch 28.
Here again is McKinnon. Muscles him off. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. 180.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Over the middle, complete. It's Goodwin. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
180! 180!
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Goodwin. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Niners on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And company heading back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. On second down, here's Love. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Look at the big man rumble. The 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. A shotgun snap for Love. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And this is going to be incomplete. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Now, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, Garoppolo. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They run it with McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open, and when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 10, Luck again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because they have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They run once more with McKinnon. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. Back to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. He's back to throw. His throw incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Luck now to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarkrisky Tart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
11.
Now McKinnon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's McKinnon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go. Hey. 4 down.
McKinnon. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.